So you've got the resume, you've sent the cover letters, and now you're at the final boss level, the interview. This is it. This is the moment you have to prove that you're not just a good teacher, but the right teacher for them. So how do you take that super high pressure conversation and turn it into a total win? Well, this is your playbook. And that's really the question, isn't it? You already know you're a great teacher. You've got the skills, you've got the passion, everything's lined up. The real trick is getting all of that across when the pressure is on. How do you make sure that interview panel sees the amazing educator you are and not just another name on a long list of candidates? Because that's exactly what it boils down to. An interview is a performance. It's not just about what's in your head, it's about how clearly and confidently you can get it out. So to help you nail that performance, we've boiled down all the expert advice into a 5-part playbook that's going to help you master every single part of that conversation. Okay, first things first, the absolute bedrock of a good interview, job knowledge. Before you start talking about your teaching philosophy or your big ideas, that panel needs to know, without a doubt, that you've got the fundamentals of the role down cold. You know, being a teacher is so much more than just what happens in the classroom, and interviewers want to see that you get the whole picture. That means talking not just about teaching, but all the crucial behind-the-scenes work, the planning, the classroom management, even the admin stuff. When you show you get all of it, you prove you're ready for the reality of the job. You should totally expect a question just like this, probably right out of the gate. It's a simple test, really. Did you do your homework? Nailing the core duties isn't just about getting the answer right. It's your very first chance to show that you're prepared, you're professional, and you're serious. It's your first win of the day. All right, so you've shown them you know the what of the job. Now they're going to want to know about the who, because teaching is never a solo mission, right? It's all about navigating those relationships with students, parents, and, yep, especially with your colleagues. Oh, and you can bet they're going to ask you about conflict. Something like, how would you handle a disagreement with a colleague? And look, it feels like a trick question, but it's not. It's a huge opportunity. They don't want to hear drama. They want to see your emotional intelligence and your maturity in action. So instead of giving a vague answer like, I'd talk to them, you come in with a clear framework. You start with the immediate goal. Let's make peace. Then you ground the whole conversation in shared professional values. And finally, you show you're thinking long-term by focusing on team building. This just completely transforms your answer into a structured professional solution. And this is the key right here. Ground your answer in these kinds of universal values. When you say something like, my approach would be guided by respect and a commitment to teamwork, because that's what professionalism is all about, you're not just talking about your personal feelings anymore. You're showing them you align with the core values of any successful school. That makes you a culture add, not a risk. All right, time to handle the heat. Interviewers absolutely love to throw scenarios at you to see how you think under pressure. The secret here is knowing the huge difference between a short-term crisis and a long-term problem. Let's start with crisis mode, decision-making. Think of decision-making as being in firefighter mode. These are those sudden pop-up emergencies that need you to do something right now. The only thing that matters in these moments is what is your immediate action. Here we go, a classic example. Now pay attention to the wording. What will you do? They're not asking for a long essay on classroom behavior. They want your immediate action plan. Your answer has to show you can act fast and decisively to keep every student safe and the classroom under control. Now let's switch gears and contrast that with the long game, problem solving. This isn't about that one-off incident. This is about tackling those deep-rooted ongoing issues that just keep popping up. Problem solving is all about those chronic long-term issues. So you're not putting out a fire anymore. You're trying to figure out why the fires keep starting in the first place. Your role here totally shifts from firefighter to detective. See the difference? The question is now, how do you plan to handle this chronic issue? They're not looking for a quick fix. They want to see your methodical, investigative, long-term strategy. And this is the kind of process they want to hear about. In your answer, literally walk them through these 5 steps. It shows you don't just jump to conclusions. It shows you're a systematic thinker who investigates, who works with other people like parents or counselors, and who actually follows through to see if the plan worked. Okay, this slide right here, this is the distinction that trips up so many people. So let's make it crystal clear. For decision-making, it's action before you investigate. For problem-solving, it's investigation before you take action. If you can really get this difference and show it in your answers, you will immediately stand out from the crowd. And finally, after you've proven you can handle the job today, they want to see what you're going to bring to the school tomorrow. This last part is all about your vision, your initiative, and your future impact. When they ask this, it's basically an invitation. It's your chance to show them your passion and your creativity. They're looking for someone who thinks beyond their own four walls, someone who really wants to contribute to the whole school community. And your answer here has to be concrete. Don't just say, oh, I want to make a difference. Talk about a real, tangible idea. Maybe you could start a school garden to teach science, or an IT club to help with digital skills. These are the kinds of proactive, specific goals that really get an interview panel excited. I mean, think about it. Proposing something as simple as an environmental club instantly shows that you have initiative. It shows you want to contribute to the entire school, which proves you're thinking like a long-term investment, not just an employee they're hiring for one classroom. So there you have it. That's the playbook, the 5 key moves. Know your job inside and out. Have a framework for handling people. Know the critical difference between a crisis and a problem. And finally, walk in there ready to share a real, tangible vision for the future. And really, that's what this all comes down to. You've got the skills, now you have the playbook. So the final question is really for you to answer before you even walk into that room. What is that one unique, creative, tangible thing that you are going to bring to the table? Figure that out, and you'll be more than ready.